there, I'm Shelley Leith. My husband Greg, the Convene CEO, has asked me to help share the exciting news about a nationwide initiative that Convene is launching this year called Serve Day. The reason he wanted me to talk about this with you is because of the time I spent on staff at Saddleback Church, where I was responsible for training churches that were doing the 40 Days of Community campaign on how to do community outreach projects. It was exciting to see all the members of a church come together to work collectively on projects that help their community in a tangible way, and to see the impact not only on the people who were served, but on those who were doing the serving. So now, here at Convene, we're expanding on that idea and looking to our member companies from coast to coast to serve their communities all together on the same day, our first ever National Serve Day, coming up on Friday, November 3rd. We've already had a good number of you sign up and tell us your plans for your company's involvement on Serve Day, and we're so excited for what we're going to be able to do together. But I'm coming to the rest of you today to encourage anyone who might be saying, yeah, that's a nice idea, but we just can't pull it off this year, to just think with me for a few minutes about how you can make this happen and why you'd want to. And with a whole 4 to 6 weeks to prepare, you can make this happen. Here's how I used to coach leaders when they were preparing to do a community project. First, choose a champion. Find that person in your organization who is passionate about helping people or who's already involved as a volunteer with a local charity. Appoint them the Serve Day champion and empower them to recruit a team and make your company's participation in Serve Day happen. Next, identify your opportunities. This is where it gets exciting. What is already going on at your company or within your Convene team or in your community that you can come alongside and help with your generosity? Now, I'm going to camp on this point for just a minute just to give you some ideas of what other Convene members are doing so you can get your own creative juices going. So first, you could ask, what's already going on at my company? Your company may already have a relationship with a local charity. If so, schedule an event with them to take place on November 3rd. You may already do an activity in your building, like the Convene member who, once every quarter, turns his warehouse into an assembly line for packaging rice, grains, and bulk foods for a ministry. You might see your own employees as the group you want to serve. We have a Convene member who gives backpacks filled with school supplies to his employees every year for their children. You can also involve your customers in serving. There's a Convene member who owns a spa, and they've asked their customers to bring in food for a food drive over the next several weeks. You can even involve remote employees. One Convene member is asking their remote employees to identify a nonprofit where they would like to volunteer time on November 3rd, and they're giving them paid time off to serve. Second, ask, what's already going on within my Convene team? Some of your teams have nonprofits on your team that you could serve. For instance, there's a Convene team in San Diego with a member who owns residences for the disabled, and the member companies from that team are doing service projects at the homes on November 3rd. In Pennsylvania, there's a Convene member who runs a large food distribution warehouse, so several of the member companies from the Convene teams in that area are sending employee groups to volunteer packing food on November 3rd. Or how about this killer idea? Your Convene team could choose a cause, such as the Free Wheelchair Mission or International Justice Mission, and as a group, your members could offer employees the option of donating a vacation day to the cause. The total days would be converted to cash, and what if the company was to do a match for every dollar donated? Think of the collective power of what your team could do together. Third, ask, what's going on in our community? Now, I'm just going to talk about an easy button here. If we had a little more time before November 3rd, you might want to determine what are the biggest needs in your community and tackle those, such as illiteracy or poverty or hunger. But let's not try to solve world hunger this time around. For this year, if you don't have any easy buttons already in your company or in your Convene team, then my suggestion is that you serve your community by collecting. You could do a canned food drive. We're just in time for Thanksgiving after all. Or you could collect hygiene items. Some rescue missions have a greater need for this than food. Or a clothing drive. Again, check in with local charities and see what specific needs they have right now. Or you could do a toy drive and collect now and then on Serve Day do the deliveries. So back to our coaching. First, choose a champion. And next, identify your opportunities. And finally, you'll want to capitalize on togetherness. Your Serve Day project will gain a lot of energy from the dynamics of your whole company pulling together to accomplish a single task. When the results are large scale and visible, your project is more likely to attract enthusiastic volunteers. Speaking of large scale, by doing your project on November 3rd, you are exponentially expanding your efforts by joining forces with scores of other companies. With Serve Day, your employees can know that they're part of a nationwide movement, which gives a whole added level of purpose and excitement to the day. And here's an important benefit to consider. By participating in Serve Day, you are giving your employees a way to express generosity, service, kindness, helpfulness, and you're giving them the satisfaction of making a difference in someone's life. Plus, they get to bond with their fellow employees in the process of doing a project together. And I think another dynamic that comes out of this is that your company can become known as a company that cares, a company that's doing things for your community, and a company that's a great place to work because your employees pull together across all levels and functions for a common purpose that's beyond the walls of your organization. So right now, go to our 2-question sign-up form and tell us, yes, my company will join in on Serve Day, and this is the type of thing we'll do. Our office will follow up with you and help you work through the details of how your service project could look for your company. If you have questions or want to explore ways you can participate, reach out to our team at serveday@convenenow.com and we'll brainstorm with you. And then on Serve Day, make sure to take videos and photos of your team in action and send them in to us at serveday@convenenow.com. We'll be posting about all you're doing on social media with the hashtag National Serve Day. And we're doing a bunch of PR, and we'd love to feature what your company does. And be thinking about next year. This is our first annual Serve Day. And from here on out, Serve Day will always take place on the first Friday of November. If all you can do is something small this year, do it. Don't let your ideas of what you could do if you had time keep you from doing what you can do with the time you have. Join us for Serve Day 2023 and then build on what you're starting now for next year and for years to come. Thanks for listening.